Hey guys, it's John. I'm playing 3 Minute. I just took a beating in 10 moves at the hands of Jay Sakara. So I searched for both a 3 and a 5 minute game, and I got a 3 minute, so... SCT, I'm going to take some revenge out on you. I'm sorry. You're just cannon fodder. P.S. Please don't beat me. So I played this line before on video, and C5 is one of the better moves. You should play knight A6 now. Knight A6, and then I'll go G3. Plays knight C6. Okay, let's go G3 all the same. I wonder if he'll break in the center with D5. I have a feeling he will. Yep, he does. Okay, so I'll just take and try to give him an isolated pawn. Perhaps it's not so great that I played Queen C2 in this IQP structure. That's a move that maybe I could do better without having played. But, you know, it's already on the board and not much I can do about it now. It does give me some discovered attack possibilities like this. I'm going to bring the knight into C5 on the next move. Just attacking his B7 pawn. I don't think I'm even threatening to take this pawn, because if I did, he could play Queen B6. Yeah, and he kind of acknowledges that fact. But I can take this guy at least. And maybe go Queen B3. Seems alright. So E6 is weak. Bishop H3 might be an idea for me to harass that pawn. He goes knight E4. Bishop H3, what's up with that? Now let's go Bishop E3 first. I like the look of this. This is solid. Let's go here. I'm expecting knight A5. Knight A5, I'll play Queen D3. He goes knight C5 instead. Okay. Against that one, I think I just want to take him too. Let's just go Queen C2. Ask him what he plans to do with that knight. He's going to play knight B4. Knight B4, knight E4 is his idea. So let's go here. And if he goes knight E4, oh, these knights are like hounding me. He's threatening knight C2 now. Knight C2 is on the table. Let's go here. Then maybe I can reorganize with Queen D1. He retreats. Okay. Let's remind him that he also has some weaknesses. Knight D4 now seems simple. Just trade. We trade again. As long as I'm not blundering anything, I think I have a slim advantage. Just based on the structure. That's about it. Let's go Queen D1. Knight E4 is a blunder because I can just take him. Okay, so he does that. Let's go here. This just keeps his knight out of E4 now that he's unpinned himself. Don't think I want to move my bishop, so we'll do that. Queen F6. Why? Let's go here. Or Queen G5, I guess. Keep missing stuff. Let's go Queen D2. Can't I just take you? What's the deal? Oh, knight B3. Gross. Let's go here. Threatening rook takes d5. He sees it. Let's go here. Can he play knight takes b3? I don't think so. Oh, he has knight b3 now. Didn't see it.
Time warning.
Yep, we're going to have to go fast. Fortunately,
Check.
I have a tactic. Maybe I don't have a tactic. Nope, don't have a tactic. But we're still doing okay, so long as we play fast.
Check.
Okay, I got extremely lucky on time there. Yeah, at the end, what did I miss? I missed that I could just play bishop takes e6. That was much simpler. Yeah, in this position. I thought I was getting cute and that after queen takes, he actually had to take my queen. And then I could take the bishop, or take with my bishop and fork him. But no, that's not the case at all. I should have just done this. And then I'm probably winning because, yeah, his d5 pawn will fall and I'm getting the exchange back. So I'll be up 2 pawns. Interesting. Okay, so this variation, he played c5 and I took. So as I said, knight a6 is the main move, whereupon white usually plays g3. We play knight c6 instead. I didn't mind this position out of the opening. Castle. So black has the classical isolated queen pawn. When you have the isolated queen's pawn, usually you have to play pretty actively, avoid too many trades, try to use the dynamic potential of your pieces because positionally, oftentimes you're worse, especially in endgames. So bishop e6. I could play just a normal move like bishop f4, but I feel with my queen on c2, I should try to exploit that early. I'm also a little wary that he might be able to play like a6 and retreat the bishop to a7 and keep it on this awesome diagonal leading towards my king. So I think knight a4 is fine. And here, and he played a good move. He didn't weaken himself. Like b6 would be a horrible blunder because I take and then this knight is hanging. Maybe he could somehow survive if he plays knight b4 here, but he just played it cool. He played rook c8. And the point is that if I take, going after the pawn, he has this move, and my knight is stranded. Yeah, I'd be forced to do something like queen b3 and pray that I don't lose anything, but I think I probably will. So I just took the bishop pair, and now queen b3. I think he played pretty well, though. He compensated for the fact that he has a worse pawn structure and the 2 knights versus my 2 bishops. He compensated for that by playing very actively with this knight pair. I was curious about this position. Let's check the engine on this. Okay, it thinks his position is plenty good. Rook d2, that's what I played. Bishop, Let's back up a few moves then, because it honestly felt like I should be better, but the computer is saying otherwise. Just evaluating the position on general characteristics. Pawn structure. Black has 3 pawn islands, 3 distinct pawn clusters, and I have 2. And I have the pair of bishops, which most players will say is an advantage. Position dependent, but most players will say it's an advantage. But I guess his activity makes up for it. It's probably just dynamically balanced. Yeah, he played well. I thought this would annoy him more than it did in the game. He coped excellently with the pressure on e6. Didn't seem to bug him too much. Maybe when I start stabilizing the position, even here, the computer thinks, okay, now it's saying about equal, but I felt that I was better. Oh, b4. Okay, that move was more or less winning on the spot. His knight goes away, and I can take on e6 and fork his king and rook. Aha. I played a generic move, rook c1. b4 is still good. Probably because I can go after b4, knight d7, trade the rooks, and then play e4. Yeah, and then there's lots of pressure. So I'm trying to attack his e6 pawn, and I'm trying to, like, for one thing, force this knight away so that he can't rely on that defender. But he did a good job of, in this position, a5 was a nice move, did a good job of anchoring that knight on c5, stopping me from playing b4 when he'd be forced to move the knight. Now he can just capture it. And it's a nice trap, because if I take here, he has knight b3. That was quick thinking if he saw that, which I think he did. I would take his knight, and then he can take my rook. He's up the exchange. So that would have been an easy trap to fall into. Notice that this is a trap involving undefended pieces. I've harped on this in past videos, but when I watch some of my students play, especially the lower rated ones, they make moves like queen takes a5 all the time. They leave like multiple pieces undefended. This is a pretty drastic example because in this position, white has everything defended. All of these three pieces are held together by the white queen, and one move could just undo it. And guess what? Black's reply takes advantage of the fact that white suddenly has three loose pieces. It's a nice example. So I played b3, went here. I tried to pressure e6 more. Yeah, now I hit upon the right idea, a3. So trying to get b4 in. And it seems like he's in trouble here. So maybe his last move, queen f6, was not good. The computer is suggesting he... It's giving some plans along the lines of trying to prepare e5. Now it's changing its mind. It says rook f e8. What happens if I just play a3 now? Rook c d8. b4. Okay, and then go e5. So it wants to clear this diagonal. No rook on c8, and then push that pawn. Okay, and try to get counterplay. So queen f6, I played a3. For a split second, I thought he could go knight takes b3, but I think that does lose. Yeah, probably bishop takes e6 is easiest. Yeah, and take here. And after this, if he can't take my rook because I back rank checkmate him. He can't take it with either his queen or his knight. So after a3, this happened. Got my rook into c7. Yeah, rook c6 would have made more sense. That would really nail his pawn on e6. And the b6 pawn too. This should also be good. Here, rook f4 was winning on the spot. I did this, tried to get fancy. Yeah, and I should have just settled for that now. And after, say, like this, I think I can just take my time, do something like that. Take. I'll win this rook. Should win the endgame.
Check.
With this type of time situation, the word endgame is kind of a moot point, but the fact remains. Yeah, I don't know why I did queen takes e6. That was just dumb. Still playing for a win. Because a bishop and two pawns are pretty nice here. But yeah, now it's like time scramble. We both missed that he could take this pawn on f3 if he wants. And then I flagged him.
Check.
I just started making moves because I didn't want to lose on time. He cheekily took on d7. A lot of people do that in flagging situations, right? I think I just honestly confused him. That was pre-moving and such. Lucky me, he flagged. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed that 3-minute game. Feel free to leave me any feedback in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.